Picture to wake up tomorrow morning, look in the mirror, and finally see the person you've always known you could be. Not the reflection of doubt, fear, and limitation that's been staring back at you all these years, but your true self radiating with unlimited potential. What would that feel like? How would it change everything? That person is already within you. They've always been there, waiting to emerge. The only thing holding them back is the invisible prison we've built in our minds, a prison made of thoughts, beliefs, and stories we've collected throughout our lives. You see, right now, in this very moment, there are two realities existing simultaneously. There's the life you're currently living, and there's the life you're capable of living. The gap between these two realities isn't determined by your circumstances, your past, or even your current situation. It's determined by one thing and one thing only: the program running in your mind. Think of your mind as the most sophisticated computer ever created. Every single day, it processes roughly 60,000 thoughts. But here's the shocking truth. 95 of these thoughts are exactly the same as the ones you had yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. We're essentially running the same mental program day after day, wondering why nothing changes in our lives. Remember when you were a child? The world was full of possibility. You didn't see limitations. You saw adventures. You didn't worry about failure. You were too busy exploring, creating, dreaming. What happened to that limitless thinking? Where did that unwavering belief in possibility go? I'll tell you where it went. It got buried under layers and layers of programming. Programming from well-meaning parents who wanted to protect you, teachers who taught you to be realistic, friends who shared their own limitations, and a society that conditions us to live within comfortable boundaries. Who wrote these programs? Who decided what's possible and what isn't? Who determined your limits? These aren't rhetorical questions. I want you to really think about this, because once you realize that these limitations are simply programs installed by others, you'll understand something revolutionary. If someone else installed these programs, you have the power to uninstall them. We say to decide every single achievement in human history, every breakthrough, every innovation, every triumph over adversity. They all began with someone who refused to accept the existing programming. They dared to write their own code. When you look at your life right now, what programs are running? Are you operating on the I'm not good enough program, the it's too late for me program, the I don't deserve success program, or maybe you're running the I'll be happy when program, that particularly insidious piece of code that keeps pushing happiness? Let me share something powerful with you. Your current reality is nothing more than the printout of your mental programming. Every relationship you're in, every dollar in your bank account, every achievement or setback, they're all perfect reflections of your internal coding. This might sound overwhelming at first, but it's actually incredibly liberating. Because if your mind created your current reality, it means your mind has the power to create a new reality. Think about water for a moment. Water has no fixed shape of its own. It takes the shape of whatever container it's poured into. Your life force, your potential, your energy, it's like water. It will fill whatever container your mind creates for it. If your mental container is small and constricting, that's all the life force that can flow through you. But if you expand that container, if you reprogram your mind to hold more possibility, more abundance, more joy, your life will naturally expand to fill that new space. You might be thinking, but I've tried positive thinking before. I've tried affirmations. I've tried visualizing success. And maybe you have. But here's what most people don't understand. Reprogramming your mind isn't about layering positive thoughts over negative programming. That's like trying to run a new app on a corrupted operating system. We need to go deeper. We need to rewrite the basic code of your mental operating system. What if I told you that everything you want, everything you've ever dreamed of, is already yours? That the universe isn't withholding anything from you? That the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the program running in your mind that says, this isn't possible for me? Close your eyes for a moment. Think about something you deeply desire. Maybe it's financial abundance. Maybe it's a loving relationship. Maybe it's perfect health. Maybe it's a meaningful career that lights you up every morning. Whatever it is, hold that desire in your mind. Now notice the immediate thoughts that follow. Notice the buts that arise. But I don't have the right education. But I'm too old. But the economy is bad. But I've failed before. These buts are your current programming at work. They're the firewalls your mind is built to protect you from disappointment. But in reality, they're protecting you from your own power, your own potential, your own greatness. It has a truth that might shake you to your core. Everything you want wants you. Success isn't something you need to chase. It's something you need to allow. Abundance isn't something you need to pursue. It's something you need to accept. Love isn't something you need to search for. It's something you need to become. The universe operates on a simple principle. It's like when you reprogram your mind to operate on the frequency of abundance. Abundance becomes your natural state. When you reprogram your mind to vibrate at the frequency of love, when you reprogram your mind to resonate with success, success becomes your default setting. But let's be crystal clear about something. This isn't magical thinking. This isn't about sitting on your couch, visualizing a perfect life, and waiting for it to materialize. This is about fundamentally changing the way your mind processes reality. It's about rewriting the deep code that determines how you interact with the world, how you perceive opportunities, how you handle challenges, and most importantly, how you view yourself. Think about this. Every thought you think is either moving you toward what you want or away from it. Every belief you hold is either expanding your possibilities or limiting them. Every story you tell yourself is either empowering you or imprisoning you. There's no neutral ground when it comes to mental programming. So how do we begin this profound journey of reprogramming? How do we start rewriting the code that's been running our lives? It starts with a simple but powerful truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. This distinction changes everything. Right now, your mind is filled with thoughts swirling around like leaves in the wind. I'm not ready. What if I fail? Who am I to want more? But here's the revolutionary insight. You can watch these thoughts without becoming them. You can observe these doubts without absorbing them. You are the vast, calm sky. Your thoughts are just clouds passing through. Let me share something powerful with you. Every thought you've ever had has been in language. Before you learned language, you didn't have thoughts in the way you have them now. You experienced life directly, purely, without the filter of words and concepts. If thoughts require language, and language is something you learn, then thoughts are learned too. And anything that can be learned can be unlearned. Think about that for a moment. Every limiting belief you have, every self-doubt, every fear, they're all learned programs. They're not your essence. They're not your truth. They're simply software running on the hardware of your mind. And just like any software, they can be updated, modified, or completely replaced. But here's where most people get stuck. They try to fight their negative thoughts. They try to push away their fears. They wage an internal war against their own programming. And what we resist persists. Fighting against negative thoughts is like trying to fight darkness with darkness. The only way to eliminate darkness is to turn on the light. This brings us to the first key principle of reprogramming: awareness without judgment. When a limiting thought arises, don't fight it. Don't resist it. Simply observe it with curiosity. There's that thought again. How interesting. This simple act of conscious observation begins to break the spell of old programming. Your mind has been running the same programs for so long that they feel like truth. They feel like reality. But they're not. They're just familiar patterns. And the first step to changing any pattern is becoming aware of it without getting entangled. Every morning when you wake up, your old programming boots up automatically. Before your feet even touch the floor, the familiar thoughts start running. The worries, the limitations, the I should and I can't thoughts. But what if, just for one moment, you could pause that automatic program? What if you could create a space between stimulus and response? In that space lies your power to choose. In that gap between what happens and how you react lies your freedom to reprogram. This is where real transformation began. Now, let me share something that might surprise you. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. This isn't just positive thinking, this is neuroscience. When you vividly imagine something, your brain fires the same neurons as if it were actually happening. Every time you run a mental program of limitation, your brain is creating that reality in your nervous system. And every time you consciously choose to run a program of possibility, your brain is literally rewiring itself to match that new reality. Think about this. Your brain has roughly 100 billion neurons forming quadrillions of connections. Every thought you think, every program you run, strengthens certain neural pathways while weakening others. You are literally sculpting your brain with every thought. You are physically redesigning your mental hardware with every program you choose to run. You don't need to understand all the complex mechanics of your brain to reprogram it, just like you don't need to understand all the complex mechanics of a computer to install new software. You just need to know how to run new programs consistently enough that they become your default setting. Let me share a powerful truth with you. Your mind is always eavesdropping on your self-talk. Every word you speak to yourself is a line of code you're writing into your mental programming. When you say, I can't, you're writing a program of limit. When you say, I'm not good enough, you're coding failure into your operating system. But what if you started writing new code? What if, instead of accepting every thought that pops into your head, you became a conscious programmer of your own mind? What if you began to write programs of possibility, programs of power, programs of purpose? This isn't about positive thinking in a naive way. This is about conscious creation of your reality through deliberate mental programming. This is about understanding that your thoughts are like seeds and your mind is the fertile soil in which they grow. What are you planting? Take a moment right now to think about the programs running in your mind about money. What beliefs do you hold? What stories do you tell yourself? Money is hard to come by. Rich people are greedy. I'll never have enough. These aren't truths. They're programs. And they're creating your financial reality with perfect precision. Or think about your programs regarding relationships. All the good ones are taken. I'm too damaged. Love always ends in pain. Again, these aren't truths. They're programs. And they're creating your relationship reality with purpose. Start catching yourself when you say, I am, or I can't, or I never. These are the most powerful programming statements you can make. They're like master code that shapes everything else in your mental software. When you say, I am, you're not describing who you are. You're programming who you'll become. When you say, I can't, you're not stating a fact. You're writing a limiting program. When you say, I never, you're not describing your past. You're programming your future. So how do we begin this profound process of rewriting our mental code? It starts with understanding that every moment is a choice point. Every thought is an opportunity to choose a new program. Every challenge is an invitation to run new software. Think of yourself as a master gardener of your mind. Every thought is a seed. What kind of garden are you growing? Are you cultivating flowers of possibility or weeds of doubt? Are you nurturing trees of abundance or thorns of scarcity? The garden of your mind will grow whatever you plant in it, without judgment, without preference, without discrimination. Let me share something powerful about how the mind works. Your subconscious mind is like a megaphone. It amplifies whatever you feed it. If you feed it thoughts of limitation, it will amplify limitation. If you feed it thoughts of abundance, it will amplify abundance. The choice of what to amplify is always yours. But here's where things get really interesting. Your subconscious mind doesn't just amplify thoughts, it attracts corresponding experiences. When you run a program of, I'm not worthy, the universe conspires to show you evidence that confirms this belief. When you run a program of, I am powerful, the universe arranges itself to reflect this truth back. This isn't mystical thinking. This is how your brain's reticular activating system works. This system in your brain filters the millions of bits of information bombarding you every second and brings to your attention whatever matches your dominant programs. Change the program, and you literally change what you see in the world. The universe isn't happening to you. It's responding to you. It's responding to your mental programming with perfect precision. Every experience you're having right now is a perfect match to the programs running in your mind. Take money, for example. If you're running a program of scarcity, you'll notice every expense, every bill, every financial challenge. Your mind will filter out opportunities and focus on problems. But if you run a program of abundance, you'll begin to notice opportunities everywhere. Your mind will filter out lack and focus on possibility, or consider relationships. If you're running a program of unworthiness, you'll attract relationships that confirm this belief. Your mind will filter out kindness and focus on rejection. But when you run a program of self-love, you'll begin to attract relationships that mirror this new programming. Your mind will filter out toxic connections and focus on nurturing ones who share something crucial. Reprogramming your mind isn't about forcing positive thoughts. It's about aligning with truth. And the truth is, you are an infinite being having a temporary human experience. You are not your circumstances. You are not your past. You are not your limitations. These are all programs, and programs can be changed. Think about water again. When water is programmed at a certain temperature, it becomes ice, solid, rigid, fixed. But change the programming, in this case, the temperature, and that same water becomes fluid, flowing, free. Your consciousness is like that water. Your current reality might feel solid and fixed, but it's only because of the programs currently running. Change the programming and everything can flow in a new direction. Start paying attention to the feeling behind your thoughts. Every thought has a corresponding feeling in your body. When you run a program of limitation, how does it feel? When you run a program of possibility, how does that feel? Your body is giving you constant feedback about your programming. The programs that don't serve you always feel heavy, constricting, draining. The programs that align with your highest good feel light, expansive, energizing. Your body knows the truth. Your body is always telling you whether you're running programs that serve your expansion or programs that maintain your limitation. Let me share something profound about how manifestation really works. Everything you want already exists in the quantum field of infinite possibility. Your job isn't to create what you want. Your job is to program your mind to allow it. Your job is to become a vibrational match to what you desire. Think about a radio. It's not creating the music, it plays it. It's tuning into frequencies that already exist. Your mind works the same way. It's not creating success, abundance, love, or joy. It's tuning into these frequencies that already exist in the universe. Your mental programming determines which frequencies you can receive. This brings us to another powerful truth. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. You attract what matches your dominant programming. This is why simple positive thinking often doesn't work. You can't think your way into abundance while running a program of scarcity. You can't think your way into love while running a program of unworthiness. The secret is to become what you want to attract. If you want abundance, run programs of abundance in your mind until abundance becomes your natural frequency. If you want love, run programs of love until love becomes your natural vibration. If you want success, run programs of success until success becomes your default setting. They try to run new programs while still giving power to old ones. It's like trying to run two operating systems at once. I am abundant. But what if I lose everything? I am worthy of love. But what if I get hurt? I am successful, but what if I fail? The solution isn't to fight the old programs. It just gives them more power. The solution is to consciously choose which programs to run. Every time an old program starts playing, consciously choose to run a new one. Not by force, not by resistance, but by choice. Every challenge in your life is an invitation to run new programming. Every obstacle is an opportunity to upgrade your mental software. What if you started seeing problems not as punishments, but as prompts for evolution? Think about this. The universe never gives you a desire without also giving you the ability to fulfill it. Every dream in your heart is a preview of what's possible. Every yearning is a glimpse of your potential. What programs are you running that stand between you and your dreams? Let me share something powerful about desire. Your desires aren't random. They're not superficial wishes or egoic wants. Your true desires, the ones that light up your soul, are messages from your highest self. They're calling cards from your destiny. The only reason you can desire something is because you have the capacity to achieve it. But here's where most people get stuck in their manifestation process. They focus on the how instead of the who. They run programs of how will I make this happen instead of who do I need to become. The how will reveal itself when you upgrade your programming to match your desires. Think about this. Everything you want requires you to become a different person. If you could manifest your desires with your current programming, you would already have them. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not a gap in capability. It's a gap in program. Let me share a profound truth about manifest sensing. The universe doesn't respond to your desires. It responds to your programming. You can desire financial abundance all day long, but if you're running programs of money as scarce or wealth as evil, your desires will remain unfulfilled. The universe is simply matching your dominant frequency. Start an exercise that can change everything. Start living as if your desires have already manifested, not in a pretend way, but in a deep cellular way. How would you think if you were already living your dream life? What programs would you be running? What thoughts would be natural to you? This isn't about fake it till you make it. This is about aligning your mental programming with the reality you want to create. This is about running the software of success before success arrives. This is about programming your mind for abundance before abundance manifests. Your current reality is just a printout of your past programming. But the moment you change the program, you begin changing the printout. The moment you upgrade your mental software, you begin upgrading your life experience. Think about who you were 5 years ago. The thoughts you thought were so solid then, the limitations that seemed so real, where are they now? They were just programs. And 5 years from now, your current limitations will seem just as insubstantial. Why wait 5 years? Why not upgrade your programming now? Start speaking to yourself as if you were speaking to someone you deeply love. Notice the programs you run when talking to others versus talking to yourself. Would you tell a beloved friend you're not good enough? Would you tell a child you'll never succeed? Then why run these programs in your own mind? Your self-talk isn't just empty words. It's programming language. Every word you speak to yourself is writing code in your mental software. What kind of code are you writing? What kind of programs are you installing? Let me share another profound truth. Your problems are not your problems. You're programming about your problems. That's your problem. Change the programming, and what seemed like an insurmountable obstacle becomes an exciting challenge. What seemed like a crisis becomes an opportunity. Think about this. Everything that happens in your life is neutral until your programming gives it meaning. Loss, failure, rejection, these aren't inherently negative experiences. They become negative because of the programs we run about. What if you upgraded your programming to see every experience as feedback, every setback as set up for a comeback? Here's a powerful way to reprogram your mind. Start asking better questions. Your mind is like a search engine. It will find answers to whatever questions you ask. If you ask, why does this always happen to me? Your mind will run programs to find evidence of victimhood. If you ask, what's the opportunity in this? Your mind will run programs to find solutions and possibilities. Your questions are like programming commands. Why am I so unlucky? Programs your mind to find evidence of bad luck. How can I turn this situation to my advantage? Programs your mind to find opportunities. What questions are you asking yourself throughout the day? Every thought you think is either programming you for success or programming you for limitation. Every belief you hold is either expanding your possibilities or constraining them. Every story you tell is either empowering your future or anchoring you. You're always one thought away from a completely different life. One shift in programming can change everything. One upgrade in your mental software can transform your entire reality. Are you ready to make that shift? Think about a caterpillar for a moment. That before it transforms into a butterfly, it must first dissolve its old programming completely. Inside the chrysalis, it turns into pure potential, liquid possibility, before emerging as something entirely new. Your transformation works the same way. You must be willing to dissolve your old programming to allow new possibilities to emerge. Let me share something profound about transformation. It doesn't happen in the future. It happens in this moment through the programs you choose to run right now. Every moment is a choice point. Every thought is a decision. Every belief is a selection of programming. Your power isn't in some distant tomorrow when conditions are perfect. Your power is in this moment, in your ability to choose which programs to run. Will you run the familiar programs of limitation, or will you choose to run new programs of possibility? Nothing has to change in your external world for you to upgrade your programming. You don't need different circumstances, more resources, or better conditions. You just need to make a different choice about what programs to run in your mind. Think about this. How many times have you said, when things change, I'll feel different? But what if it works the other way around? What if when you feel different, when you run different programs, things change? What if external change follows internal reprogramming, not the other way around? Let me share something powerful about commitment. Half-hearted programming creates half-hearted results. You can't run programs of possibility from Monday to Friday and then run programs of limitation on the weekends. You can't run programs of abundance in the morning and programs of scarcity in the evening. The universe responds to your dominant programming. Your commitment to new programming must be total, not from a place of force or struggle, but from a place of choosing. Choose what programs you want to run as if your life depends on it, because it does. Your life experience is a direct reflection of your mental programming. Here's an exercise that can transform everything. Start catching yourself in the gap between stimulus and response. When something happens, notice the automatic program that wants to run. Notice the familiar thoughts, the habitual reactions. Then choose again. Choose a different program. Choose a different response. Your old programming will try to reassert itself. This is natural. Programs that have run for years don't disappear overnight, but they do disappear through consistent choice. Every time you choose a new program over an old one, you strengthen new neural pathways. Every time you choose possibility over limitation, you upgrade your mental software. Think about this. Every great achievement in human history began with someone who chose to run different programs than everyone else. Every breakthrough, every innovation, every transformation started with someone who dared to think differently, to believe differently, to program their mind differently. What programs will you choose to run? What code will you write in your consciousness? What software will you install in your mind? These aren't just philosophical questions. They're practical choices you make moment by moment, thought by thought. Here's a profound truth about reality creation. The universe doesn't care how long you've been running your old programs. It doesn't care about your past, your circumstances, or your excuses. It simply responds to the programs you're running right now in this moment, which means you're always one choice away from running new programs. Start noticing the evidence of your programming in your daily life. Notice how your current thoughts create your current experiences. Notice how your beliefs shape your reality. Notice how your mental programs manifest as your life circumstances. Not to judge or criticize, but to become aware. Awareness is the first step in transformation. You are not your programming. You are the programmer. You're not your thoughts. You are the thinker. You are not your beliefs. You are the believer. You have the power to choose what programs to run, what thoughts to think, what beliefs to hold. Your mind is the most powerful technology you'll ever own. It's time to take control of your programming. It's time to write new code. It's time to install new software. It's time to become the conscious creator of your reality. Every moment is a new beginning. Every thought is a fresh start. Every belief is a new choice. Your programming doesn't have to define you. It can refine you. Your thoughts don't have to limit you. They can lift you. Your beliefs don't have to constrain you. They can create you. The power is yours. The choice is yours. The programming is yours. What will you choose? What programs will you run? What reality will you create? The universe is not punishing you or rewarding you. It's responding to you. It's matching your programming with perfect precision. Change your programming and you change everything. Your future is not determined by your past programming. Your potential is not limited by your current circumstances. Your destiny is not controlled by your old software. You have the power to reprogram your mind, reshape your reality, and recreate. The time is now. The power is within you. The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Program consciously. Create deliberately. Your new life is waiting for you to run new programs. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. Every moment is a new opportunity to choose again, to think again, to believe again, to program again. The question is, what programs will you choose to run from this moment forward? You are the programmer of your destiny. You are the creator of your reality. You are the author of your life story. Program your mind with purpose, with power, with possibility. Your greatest life awaits your conscious choice to create it.